Hey, happy Friday, SMMA Blueprint community. Derek here, and I am downtown at Penny's Cafe. I'm actually just on the fourth floor here. There's a lot of corporations around. It's kind of a cool little spot. I'll show you guys. You got the city back here. It's the North Loop area. But yeah, I'm going to invite David on, and we're going to, essentially get this rolling. As always, this is your time to ask questions, engage with us, let us know what kind of hangups you're having in your business, any questions that you have. So I'm just going to jump into our feed.
Hey, what's going on?
Not much. Just trying to load up some of the questions from the news feed, but I'm struggling with the internet here.
So first of all, we got some bosses in the group who got some deals done this week. So let's get a round of applause. So sick to see, a couple people brand new to the course, first couple weeks in the program, just take it for all it's worth and really just get after it. Good job, guys. Really, really proud of you. It's not an easy thing just to jump into a program and start prospecting. I mean, it's super easy to get overwhelmed, and nice work. So, looks like Carlos, he said, hey, y'all, unfortunately, client stood me up again. I think I'll email him saying thanks for your time, but it won't be the best fit for him. Kind of sucks, but going through that process and preparing for the proposal made me feel so much more confident in my base knowledge for not only that niche, but the basic concepts going into campaigns. That's a good way to look at it, good positive attitude. You got through, you took it that much further, right? You've got it to that step further than you were before.
Yep.
You created a proposal, you felt those feelings, you were ready to do it, you were prepared, and that sucks that, you got stood up for the meeting, but, it's going to be that much easier for you to get through the next ones next time, and you're going to know what the process was like, all those things that you thought about, and it's going to be, a better process the next time through it. So look at it as a learning experience, and like you said, get ready for some heavy prospecting tomorrow morning. First client coming soon. We have no doubt about it. So way to get after it. Let's see. So Thomas, listened to the Expert Secrets audiobook, driving back from Vegas, one of my favorite cities in the world. And said that it was an absolute game changer. Could not agree more. If you guys have not bought Expert Secrets and .com Secrets, those together, free plus shipping, $20. Get them, just for in this world, they're some of the best social media, just like online business books I've ever read in my life.
Oh yeah.
Couldn't recommend them highly enough. It's game changing.
While you're rolling through these, I'm just inviting people to the group here.
So Carlos, talking about the meeting that stood him up, he had a meeting with a microbrew, brewery pub. Any thoughts, advice, words of wisdom? Talked about different ways to help in my comment. It's restaurants, breweries, what I like to do for those is look at other competitors, all around the world. Look at some of the biggest breweries, look at the microbreweries that are killing it. And then in the proposal, I'll literally take screenshots of their Instagram accounts and be like, here's a brewery that's got, 80,000 followers, that's packed out, every night of the week. This is why.
Right.
This is why. People see this, they're like, oh, that looks, tantalizing. Man, look at those suds. Ooh, good depth of field. Man, that froth. Oh, man, they've been hyping up that IPA that they're releasing in 2 weeks, and man, they've got these gooey burgers, this great content. That's how restaurants get people to go these days. It's an Instagram play. People check out Yelp and they check out Instagram to find out what they can expect when they get there. And considering Yelp is taken by a bunch of amateurs with poor lighting with their iPhones, more and more people are looking at Instagram. I mean, I know I do. Before I go, if I look at a menu and it's damn, a steak's $70, I'm like, why? I look at Instagram. I'm like, oh, that's why. Damn, look at that steak. But if there's no justification on Instagram, then I might not go and spend that money. You know what I mean? Unless it's been recommended 30 times. So for the food and beverage industry, you can do so much with so little, just growing their accounts and running ads and just showing like the food and, you know, showing how good it is. Like our clients up on the Gunflint Trail, you can't tell you how many, you know, Derek even went up there a couple weeks ago, and somebody commented to Derek they've been following the Instagram account, and because they've been following it and they loved it so much, they decided to literally come from like Ohio or something. I mean, it was
Yeah.
not a close place.
The
It was
whole
not in
yeah,
the
the
state
whole
of
reason they
Minnesota.
came was specifically like the Poplar House in and of itself was a point of interest. It's where they wanted to go just because of the Instagram content. There was really nothing else going on up there. I mean, there's cool stuff to do. There's amazing places to see, but in terms of being on the map and being visually appealing, Poplar House was the only one in the game, which you know, or this resort, which is, you know, something that we've been working on for quite some time. So
Yeah.
pretty awesome to just be sitting there at the restaurant talking to the owner, which is one of our clients, and then the person next to us making small talk about why they're here is specifically because of the Instagram. And the owner was just like, well, you can go ahead and thank him, just, you know, or pointed at VTL for doing that. And I'm just like, yeah, I'll take it. I'll take it.
Casual.
Yeah.
Casual. Um, it just makes such a difference. Like it's literally where people go to. It used to be that people would go and check out the Facebook page. Like now it's Instagram and Facebook, you know, more so than other platforms. Um, Brian asked, my brother closed a salon. Side note, Brian, I see you posting in the group every single week, man. Like way to literally just hustle your butt off, man. I see you posting about like clients you're closing, you know, deals you're trying to get done all the time. So like serious props. I recognize the hustle, and I know Derek does too.
Yep.
So, way to go. Same to your brother who closed his salon, first time venturing into this industry. Any marketing tips? They don't have a receptionist to do any follow-ups, and they provide services for weddings as well. So, I mean, weddings would be what you want to maybe do like a lead gen ad for to get people that, you know, recently got engaged or, you know, liked some bridal pages on, you know, Facebook or Instagram. But for salons, awareness campaigns can go, you know, a really, really long way, kind of like showing people why they're different, great content. Again, you know, like look at this cut and color that we did with this, you know, dated looking haircut, and like look at the before, you know, and like look at, you know, this great, you know, highlight we did for Cindy, you know, and just kind of like showing just like a, you know, kind of like a food restaurant, like show the results, like show the deliverable. Like if you visit the salon, like what can you expect when you get there? You know, people smiling, like a beautiful space, the products that they carry there, you know, and raising the awareness of that. And again, I would look at salons that are crushing it, and like emulate that, and you know, just kind of use that as a roadmap and for inspiration for what you do for the client.
Yeah. One thing I want to talk about too is, you know, David and I, over the last month, I would say September, you know, we really hardened up some of our systems, our reporting, just how we delivered to clients, just to increase retention. And, you know, over towards the end of October here, going in November, especially through November, we're pushing really hard on new client acquisition. And, you know, just wanted to talk a bit about some of the success that we've had in our business of just getting booked meetings on the calendar, having conversations, and really getting into that and embracing the growth mindset, which is something you guys need to be actively doing within your business. If you want to grow, you want to maintain your business, get it off the ground, scale it, anything like that, add more team members. Like today, we just hired another person to jump on our team as like a freelancer. So wanted to just maybe go over some of the things that we've been doing that have you know, stepped up our game here in the last couple of weeks, just putting more meetings on the books.
Yeah, 100%. You know, I mean, Derek and I really enjoyed the summer. You know, we were closing clients, like don't get us wrong, but I mean, it wasn't like the all hands on deck approach that we have when we're really like buckling down and looking to scale. So, you know, we've taken it, you know, on a number of different, and this goes hand in hand with the next question that came up from financial mentors. You know, how have you been successful finding clients and which works best? We've been doing all of them. I mean, the only one that we haven't been doing a ton of is cold calling, just because like between the course and our agency, we're so busy that we want to have a large volume kind of going out through kind of automated systems. And, if we need to pick up the phone and dial, like we will. But this has been working really, really well for us. So first and foremost, we've been hitting LinkedIn hard. We've got admins, like we teach in the course, who do, automation manually through the platform, who are looking for our ideal prospects. We also have a ton of people that we had connected with from past, LinkedIn initiatives that we hadn't talked to in 6 months, right? So we hit the circle backs hard, followed up aggressively, and have been doing more cold outreach through the LinkedIn platform. I also uploaded a new lecture on Apollo. It's an email marketing platform. It's a paid solution. You get 50 free credits. But we've been leveraging that heavily. Got 2 meetings from that so far, including one earlier this morning for the week after next. So, I mean, between those two, that's, 2 systems that Derek and I mean, how many meetings did we put on the calendar? It was 6 as of like Wednesday. I think we're at like 8, 9,
1,
something crazy.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's just like in the last 5 days. So there's probably more next week. Another thing that we have been doing over the last couple weeks as well is just leveraging meetup.com, as well as anytime we see any kind of startup, entrepreneurial, business to business type conversation, meetups, we've been going there and making a presence. And it's nothing crazy. It's literally just showing up, standing there, feeling awkward for the first 30 to 45 seconds. And then you're just a part of the crew at that point. You're, hey, I'm Derek. This is what I do. I run a marketing agency. What do you do? Cool. How long have you been at it? Awesome. Just like having basic conversations, planting seeds about what you do. And you're not even pitching to these guys. You're just literally telling them what you do. And then if it's right for them, their wheels are going to start turning and go, I could use that. Maybe sprinkle in a success story as you're talking. So you're not hard selling, but you're making connections. And just out of those simple meetups, we had a guy come to our office 2 weeks ago, and we're in the process of closing a deal with him. And then today at 2 p.m., I've got a conversation with one of the companies that was sponsoring the networking event at 2 o'clock today. So about an hour and a half. That could go really well too. And, I feel like every single time I go to one of these networking events, something good happens. We get some sort of lead, some conversation, whether it's a direct business relationship or it's an opportunity for us to get in front of a wider audience or another pool of people, maybe do a partnership with someone. So like what we're doing right now is every single week, we're making it a point to go out to one of these networking events in the Twin Cities and, just spending an evening where normally maybe you would go to happy hour or you would just, chill at home. Like it's really not that hard to just go out there, shake a few hands, have a quick conversation. What do you do? What do you do? And then if somebody's interested, boom, set up a meeting, have a conversation later in the day, later in the week, and talk a bit more about their business. So that's another great way that you can do it. And, David mentioned that we have people helping us with the outbound activity, but, 100% we are doing it ourselves as well. Like, at night, as I'm like watching, Netflix or something, I'm just sending out DMs, like picking out prospects and saying, hey, I feel like this is a good list of people for me to go after, sending connection requests on LinkedIn, seeing if I can find them on other platforms like Apollo, like David mentioned. So these are all ways to keep your top of funnel full, which is like the complete lifeblood of your business. And, David and I have some pretty aggressive goals that we want to scale up now that we have like the infrastructure of our team in place. Things are going well. We're able to retain clients now at this point. So these are all things that you guys can implement on your day to day and, really makes a big impact. Like just, if you have 10 minutes between meetings, send 10 messages. Like you'll be shocked with like the amount of good things that happen when you just put yourself in a position to win and put yourself out there. So, yeah, really excited that, we're moving in the right direction there. That's
And
it.
it's all about finding, like you just made such a good point, Derek. Like you got to have an insane sense of urgency. Like think about this. We got, what is it, 8, 9 meetings booked in 5 days. That's between two people. That means, and that we're not special. We literally are using the exact stuff that we give you in the course in terms of like the scripting for the emails and stuff like that. We just have an insane sense of activity. Like we've got a lot of firepower going out at all times. Like
We set a
we
goal,
had,
set a goal and go
we
for
literally
it.
had a call. Yeah, we had a call at 8:30 a.m. Central this morning. I had 30 minutes before our team meeting at 9. I literally scheduled out probably 30, 40 emails through Apollo because I wanted to get them out as early in the day on Friday morning as I could because I knew people were going to be checking out by Friday afternoon.
Yeah.
I knew I had that 30-minute window. That's the only availability I had this morning, to get that done. And, boom, what happens? I get a
Set a
meeting in
meeting.
2 weeks. Like it's that simple. But if I didn't make use of that 30 minutes, I'd have no meeting. I wouldn't have been able to do that. Maybe it goes out on Monday and that person isn't in the office and they don't see it. So like
Or somebody else took the
those are the
business.
types
Like,
of spaces. If you got 30 minutes, those of you that are grinding, like I know it. You're working a job. Maybe you got weird hours. Maybe you're working 2 jobs. Like Derek and I both work 2 jobs at some points. Like find those small windows, when you're out at lunch. Derek and I both, like we DM people on LinkedIn from our phones, just like walking around. Like we'll go walk around the city and we'll just be, tapped it. Like you got to have a love for it. You just can't turn it off. Like that's like the type of energy you got to bring to your prospecting, where you're like, oh, I got a coffee in my hand. I got one hand where I can prospect, and like that's when you're going to dramatically accelerate, and just like your calendar's going to be booked out. And like we've been this week, sore throat at the end of the day, just from like wheeling and dealing, pitching, contracts going out, like invoices, onboarding calls, and like that's when this business gets to be really, really fun.
yeah, and you're just insulating your business. You're building up an insurance policy for your business by doing those activities because, if you have 5 clients or whatever, that's awesome. But you still, like David and I, when we were at that point, we very much knew that we are completely vulnerable and that it could all be over tomorrow. So
Yep.
every problem that happens in your business, every, negative conversation with the client, if, things go south, like when you have that top of funnel, those meetings coming in, those new clients coming in, like your anxiety to me just drops because like your problems become amplified when those are your only clients. And it becomes very stressful. But if you have a healthy pipeline, you're always having conversations with people. It's just much, much safer for your business. You'll sleep better at night. You'll know that money's coming in the door. And, if a client gets mad at you or whatever, they run out of budget, their Q4 budgetary constraints kick in, it's no sweat off your back. You just move on. You've got 10 other people in the pipeline. Who gives a shit? Like, obviously you want to keep business and you want to, make your clients happy as possible, but life happens, things happen that are out of your control. And the only thing that you can't control is just having more business, and you're doing yourself a disservice by not doing that. And you're doing your clients a disservice as well, because at the end of the day, if you have more funds, you have more capital, you can invest more time and resources into making your product, making your service better than it was, rather than if they were your only client. You just don't have the resources. You might have the time, but at the end of the day, you're going to be strapped for cash, stressed, and you're just ultimately going to be winning for everyone, keeping that top of funnel fresh.
Yep. Well, and I mean, so think about this, and so Carlos, how would you feel when that person no-showed the meeting if you knew that you had 3, 4 more meetings teed up on the calendar? And this was a mistake. Like when Derek and I were first starting our careers, like we were recruiters and we were commission based, and we got fat commissions. Like when we moved somebody to a new job, we could get $10, $20, $30,000 like that, right? So we'd be like laser focused on this one candidate. We'd be waiting to hear, like if they were going to get hired. And, you know, we'd be kind of like phoning it in. We wouldn't be putting in the level of effort that it took to get that candidate in the fire. And if we had been doing that, we'd have it stacked where we'd have, oh, that person didn't get hired, but boom, somebody got hired the next day, blah, 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 blah. So for us, like this week, good example, yesterday, you know, Wednesday we close the deal. Thursday morning, we have a discussion. And like we thought this went, like we literally are like going over pricing. This guy's like, yeah, you know, you answered all my questions. It sounds good. Just send over some more information, and I'm gonna, you know, make a call. We send over a case study on how we like blew up this business for this client that we worked with, like made them, you know, $1 million pipeline in 90 days, and closed, you know, a third of it. And the guy comes back and he's like, you know, we bootstrapped this thing. The price is a little high. Maybe we can work together in the future. And Derek and I are like shocked, right? We're like, well, that's surprising. We thought that went really, really well.
Yeah.
But you know what? We still have 4 more meetings on the calendar, so it didn't work out. You know, all right, we offered a slight discount. We offered like a slightly different approach. You know, and who knows if it'll go anywhere. But if it does, sweet. If not, we got the calendar stacked with more opportunities. Like, I mean, it's just that's and literally earlier that day, I had another meeting that went really, really well. That, you know, I'm just waiting. The guy loved everything we had to say, and, you know, we're probably going to move forward with them. He just wanted to talk to a couple other agencies that he's speaking with. You know, so like literally yesterday, we had 2 prospecting meetings and an onboarding session with a client that we closed Wednesday. This morning, we had a meeting. Derek has a prospect meeting this afternoon with somebody else that he met earlier in the week. You know, so like this is like the type of momentum, you guys. Like if you want to like blow your freaking agency up with clients, like this is like what you have to have your calendar at. And again, like Derek and I aren't special. You 100% can get this many meetings in a week if you just like literally put the hammer down, like just focus on it,
Yeah.
and get your tempo magnified. You know,
Half the time it's just right
VAs
place, right
stuff.
time too. Like it's, you
Yep.
know, we give you all the tools, give you the scripts, you know what to say, you know how to walk them through the process. But at the end of the day, like it's not always that you're saying the most magical thing in the world. It's just the fact that you're saying it at the right time. They're thinking about it. They're thinking about expanding their team, social media marketing. They were just talking to another CEO. They attended a talk, a podcast, whatever. And then boom, you show up in their inbox. Hey, let's talk. And then 9 other people are going to tell you to, you know, go pound sand. So it's just the way it is, you know, it like over and over. David and I have been in sales. We've been very successful, and like the other people that we see successful around us, you know, some people are phenomenal and very personable, and they have the entire package, the work ethic, the hustle, the tenacity, the personality to match it. But then at the same time, you have people that are not special at all, not super personable, don't have a great, you know, vocabulary. They're not a wordsmith. They're not super charismatic, but at the end of the day, they crush their numbers and they make sales every single day. Why? Because they're consistent, because they show up, they have like a process that they follow to a T, and it works. So, you know, if you guys are sitting here like, yeah, you know, I'm really good at ads, you know, I feel like I can help my clients a lot, but, you know, maybe I just, you have some kind of self-doubt, like just eliminate that from your mind and just be very transparent, be honest, genuine, and just reach out to people. Like the more people that know about what you do, the more successful you're going to be, period, end of story. The less people that know about what you do, who you are, and what services you provide, the less business you're going to have. It's just simple attention. It's a funnel. You know, the more activity you can get, AKA the more eyeballs, the more business owners, the more people that know about what you're doing, it's just going to funnel down. You're going to take them through that needs analysis process, close deal. You know, things are going to fall off throughout the funnel, but that's just the way it is. You know, it's pretty much math at that point, you know?
Yep. Yeah. So it's just hundreds. You got to think in multiples of like hundreds, you know, like for those of you that are afraid, like it gets a lot less scary when you're talking to hundreds of people than just one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The pressure is off.
You can, like the pressure's off. You're talking to hundreds, thousands of people. You know, when Derek and I show up to these meetings, you know, we know, like we've talked to so many people now. It's just like, oh, it's just another meeting, you know, and like, but if you've only had one meeting, two meetings, three meetings, you know, it's going to be scary. So just get as many as you possibly can, and then all of a sudden it's you know, rinse and repeat. I mean, I remember my first time I ever went and like met with somebody on site. Like, it was terrifying. Derek was the same way. He came to the first on site for our agency with me, and it was like the first time he'd like visited an office, and we left, and he's like, oh my God, that was like the coolest thing, you know, I've ever done. Let's, you know, do that again and again and again and again, you know. But you just got to get, you know, when you get the multiples, when you, oh, did we just freeze up?
Yeah, sorry, a call came in.
Oh, no worries. Love it when that happens. But yeah, guys, like this should just get you, like, literally my agenda. It's not to my left right now. I wish I could show you, but literally my agenda for this weekend, me, the course mentor, with a stacked calendar, literally my agenda for this week is to schedule at least 250 Apollo emails to go out first thing Monday morning. And I've got a 6 email touch point sequence for them. So I know that that's going to be going out on autopilot for the next 3.5 weeks, basically. So for those of you, if your calendar doesn't look like Derek's and mine, like, that's your agenda for the weekend, is to schedule, you know, get your mail merge free thing ready, get Apollo if you have it ready, you know, get Sales Navigator teed up, some saved searches ready to go, some correspondence ready to happen Monday morning. And then, you know, if it happens on autopilot, sick. If you got to do it manually via LinkedIn, sick. That's what Derek and I did when we first started leveraging LinkedIn. Back when, you know, that's when I was in sales at my past company. I did it all manually. I didn't have an awesome Dave and Derek to teach me how to hire a VA and do it for me,
Yep.
you know? So just make it happen, guys. Like, if your calendar isn't stacked, watching Derek and my calendars be stacked should, you know, it should piss you off a little bit. Like, you should be like, that I want that, you know, and use that as energy and go get a full calendar and then go close some deals.
Yep, 100%. Yeah, I'm excited. You know, just with like the stuff, the conversations that we're having, like we just had so many things going on. Like this morning, we had a prospect call at 8 a.m. I completely forgot about it. So it was just like, because yesterday was just a whirlwind, like probably from
Have so many
8:30
meetings that you forget about prospect meetings. That's what I want for you guys.
8:30. Yeah, it was like yesterday. It was like 8:30 in the morning through 3:30 p.m. I was talking on the phone, on a Google Meet, on a phone call, you know, and then, yeah, the call came around at 8 a.m. and I was like, fuck, got out of bed, boom, made that call. But it went super well. I think we crushed it. You know, David did really well on the call. I think I did really well. So I really feel like we followed up with them, sent them some referrals, sent them some case studies, you know, just some basic stuff, emails, just showing, you know, some of our past success. And I really feel like we're going to close that one for sure. But,
Yep.
but yeah, like David said, get so much stuff on the calendar that you forget that you have a meeting.
All right, just going through some of the questions. Honestly, so much of the discussion this week is just about people booking meetings and closing deals that
Yeah.
I'm just like smiling right now. I just love to see that.
It's amazing.
We got some Canadians in the group.
Hey.
I'm curious to hear everybody's thoughts on D7 Lead Finder. I haven't had a chance to give that a shot yet.
I think Vasil had a few comments here.
Right on.
I think, do we mention, Mehdi said, hey guys, super happy, just closed one dental client with 3 locations at $3,000 per month. That's huge, man. Congratulations. Sorry if David already said that. I'm just looking over the feed here. $3K a month for one client. That's amazing. I love it. That's going to give you some runway. It's going to give you cash in the door, get you some experience. It's all fantastic. Vasil said, I'm going 8K a week in revenue, selling cleaning services, need to step up my marketing and 4X this in the spring, 10X this by this time next year. just got my second truck vinyl wrapped today. Gonna pick it up right now. Hell yeah, man. That's amazing. Shout it from the rooftops what you're doing. That's that exactly to our point. The more people that know about what you're doing, the more successful you're gonna be. So that's commitment. Guy's wrapping his truck with his brand and his business. So hopefully I'm reading that right. I love that. And he said, I love what I'm learning and listening to you guys on how to run better ads. Really grateful that you guys are digging into the content, turning it into action, turning it into dollars, and giving yourself better lives because of it. Dietrich Brown's watching. What's up? Glad to have you on here. Evan Bob, Frankie Garcia, Francisco Bianco, Thomas, Bordis. So happy to have you guys on here, and definitely comment if you guys have anything. But love seeing the success you guys are having from the SMMA blueprint. It's just beautiful, a beautiful thing to see for sure.
We also just between us and everybody watching, we've got some awesome stuff we're going to be adding actually in terms of lectures. I had one that I literally recorded, and I was like 30 minutes into the training, and then my sound got all messed up, which I love it when it happens. But so I'm another thing on my list for this weekend is I'm going to be recording some training on Reddit ads. Just looking at our dashboard, we everything we post in the course we test aggressively, ourselves. But I've got a couple campaigns here just to give you some idea. We're at like 15 cents per 1,000 impressions right now on Reddit, highly targeted. It's different than like Facebook ads, Instagram ads, just in terms of the targeting, but Reddit is one of the most highly trafficked sites, and their ad platform's like very much in its infancy right now. So it's a huge white space, pretty eye-opening for Derek and myself once we started running ads there. We've spent $35, 211,000 impressions, and 358 clicks for $35. So we're quite happy with these campaigns that we've been running. And I know Derek's going to throw up some training as well for another platform if you want to chat about that.
Yeah, another ad platform that we've been experimenting with and having success with is actually Snapchat. So, obviously a lot of users went to Instagram when they kind of priced them out of the feature there by having the stories involved. But the arbitrage is pretty insane. Like right now, we're getting less than 17 cents per swipe up to website traffic right now on Snapchat. And it's a very simple platform. They have a self-service type platform, just like Facebook, where it's like campaign, ad set, ad. So I'm going to go through a tutorial and show you guys how to set those up. It's going to be very similar to the tutorial on Instagram story ads. So it's the same platform or the same setup, vertical video, swipe up to go to the website. So the same way you create the footage, create the video and the content like we have in the course, you're going to do that for Snapchat, but I'm just going to walk you through the ad platform so you can get a little bit familiar with it. And you can either try it for your business or you can just have that as a tool in your arsenal when you're speaking with customers. If they have younger demographics, even it's skewing into, I know like people in their 40s, 50s that are using Snapchat. It's kind of odd. It has like this subculture activity within friend groups. So I've seen, parents communicating between each other on Snapchat. Even though like I'm not really using the platform very much anymore, there's still hundreds of thousands of people doing so, and you can capitalize on that traffic. Like the best case scenario whenever you're looking for mediums is there's eyeballs, there's attention, there's the right type of people that you want, and not everyone and all the big corporations are marketing there. That's kind of how Snapchat is right now. That's kind of how Reddit is, like what David mentioned. So we want to make sure that you guys have these tools and you can throw them into the mix just so you're not completely vulnerable to Facebook if they make changes, or say your customer's like, I don't think Facebook's working, we don't want to go that route. You've got more options. You can do Google, you can do Reddit, you can do Snapchat, Instagram, these other platforms. So we're constantly evolving this course so you guys can stay current and active with your clients, and want to make sure we give you the best stuff. Met, I think there's one question if you want to address it or not. Mehdi said, curiosity question here. What do you think of Iman Ghazi? So we could give our opinion on that if you'd like.
Yeah, I mean, I think, I'll leave this to, third parties, to really answer. I mean, we bought courses, right? And there's a reason why we got tired of getting the same questions that other courses should have answered, which is why we decided to launch, the blueprint. And I mean, I think it's not just, Godsey. I think it's, a lot of other information products that just leave a lot of questions unanswered. Like as a person, I don't know him. I don't know anything, really about him. But I mean, we set out to create a better course. And I think that we achieved that.
Yeah, and I think really like our focus too, which I think makes us different than what I see a lot of content creators out there, course creators. I'm not singling out Iman or anybody, but really the primary source of their income and their revenue or the numbers that they share with you guys are based on their course sales. Like they're very good. They're content creators. They're making a lot of money in that space, and that's awesome. But David and myself, like bread and butter is our agency. Like we have aggressive sales skills. We have aggressive sales goals that we're constantly going after. And we basically are helping you guys out to rise with us as we grow and show you new techniques as we grow as well. So I think that's a big differentiator. I know Iman's, he's a younger guy. He's obviously good with like content creation, but where I think we stand tall above the rest is like David and I were a little bit older, but we're still young enough to know and understand social media and be a part of that. So we have a ton of experience. David and I have been doing sales for over 10 years, whereas like a lot of people in this space don't have that experience. And if they do, they're too high level to the point that they're not boots on the ground, eating the dirt, having the sales meetings. They're more of a personal brand. Don't get it twisted. Like we want to create content for you guys and serve as many people as possible. But at the end of the day, our income is not personal brand. Our income is client-based, service-based business. Like that's what we do every single day. We just got off a call with a client where we're giving them status updates. All week long, we're either managing our team, managing our employees, talking to clients, going through problems, putting out fires, getting on the phone with new potential prospects. Like this is our life. We live and breathe it every single day. And, a big help for you guys is that you can lean on us, shortcut our experience. At this point, we're 3 years deep into the game. Like we've been doing this for a while, just on our own, like not including all of our sales experience, not including the marketing strategies that I was quarterbacking at a multi-billion-dollar organization, not including the sales development experience Dave has, taking a company from 14 million to 40 million buyout. Like we bring a wealth of experience to you guys, and we're also in it with you. So like stuff that you guys are doing on day one, we're doing that right now. We're not like special. We're not too good to, pick up the phone and make a cold call. We're not too good to send DMs in the middle of the night. You know what I mean? Like we are doing this stuff every single day. And I think that really resonates with people. I think people can see that because you guys are good at sniffing out bullshit, right? Like you can tell if somebody's, lying to you or if they're being real with you and actually living it, going through the motions, growing with you. So I think that's where we stand out above the rest, within this community for sure.
Yep. All right. Well, let's see. I think that honestly covers it, guys. I think we answered most of the questions. I loved Rogers, Coors Lights, and the pumpkin.
What is that? Oh, I missed that.
You didn't see that? He said Happy Halloween, everyone, with the carved pumpkin with Coors Light on ice in it.
Classic.
And he told me I should fill mine with claws.
Yeah. There you go.
Love
Awesome.
it. Very
Cool.
cool, guys. Everybody, like I said, we kind of took it kind of deep with the sales talk, but I hope that going into the weekend that ignites, some fire with you guys. Like Derek said, like we've got some aggressive goals we're trying to hit. Like we are scaling to the moon this winter. We've been really investing in our people, building out our team even bigger than it was before so that we can handle just rapid client acquisition. So for those of you, like I said, like if you don't have a booked out calendar, like spend this weekend, give $200 to Apollo, buy some emails, scale, that out, and the ROI, if you put the time in, will be there in the next week. So let's make it happen. Everybody have an awesome weekend. Brad, Derek, any final thoughts before we end it here?
No, just use every waking moment as an opportunity to get more business, have conversations, shake hands, tell people about what you do, wrap your truck with your marketing logo like Vasily's doing. Whatever you got to do, make it happen. We're here to support you. Hit us up in the inner circle and we will either jump on a call, jump on a live, answer your questions. Love seeing you guys' success and all the people that have been posting this week about how many meetings they're getting, how many clients they're getting, getting clients at 1,000, 3,000, 5,000 a month. That's so exciting and just game changing. So congrats.